Welcome to SalesATM tutorial. In this tutorial, you will learn how to navigate through the menus of SalesATM. You're going to find where each page is and what it does. We're going to talk about the menus for retail business, wholesale business, and distribution business. Some of the menus are common in these three different business operations, but there are some differences, additions, and subtractions somewhere. So now let's dive in, and we're going to begin with the retail business navigation. So to start with, this is the first page that you will see when you log into your sales ATM. This is common to all the three businesses: the retail, the wholesale, and the distribution. So the retail has the dashboard that you can see if you click on the dashboard. And I'll mention if it is also common in the other two businesses, the wholesale and the distribution. So the dashboard is common to all these three business operations. So when you click on the dashboard, we're going to talk briefly about the dashboard, just to tell you what you can see. So we don't have any figures during this date range, and you can change the date range, go back and just view report. We haven't entered anything for the retail business because this demo runs mainly for the wholesale and distribution. You can also change if you are an admin and you log into the retail, you have access to view other business operations as well. Or if you are assigned to multiple branches in sales ATM, branches refers to the business units. So if you are a staff that have been assigned a retail branch and also assigned a wholesale branch or assigned to a distribution branch, you can see all these three divisions. So here we can see the distribution branch, which is Senche. And if you change and you click on report, you will be seeing the dashboard of the distribution branch, same as the wholesale branch, because I have been assigned to the retail, the wholesale, and the distribution branch as well. So you can also see, and we don't have any data because we have not entered any data for the wholesale and the retail. So this is basically how to view information on the dashboard. And what you can see on the dashboard is the sales revenue per month. So every sales revenue will be recorded here month per month and year you see. And we have sales expenses per month. And let's change to the distribution branch where we can have some data to talk about. So you can see on the top menu here, we have your cash balance as of today. We have the mobile money balance, then the petty cash balance, the company petty cash and expenses, and the sales value. If you come down to give you details of the sales revenue per month and then the sales expenses per month, then it gives you the net profit, the gross profit, brief gross profit per each month. That is sales minus expenses. If we go back, you can see more of that there. So you can change the date and you see the differences there. And then you can see product sales revenue, and we talk about product sales volume. And then we have stock levels, and then stock to order. If you have set up a reorder level and you go below the reorder level, you see them there. And we have out of stock, stocks that are normal. It gives you the hint. And then expiring product, right? This is also important report because you don't want to lose money on stocks that expires. So you get a glimpse of it and be able to sell either you want to promote those business or give discount to those businesses, and then you have expired stock. So basically, this is the dashboard information. Now, let's go back to we are still logged into the retail business, but the dashboard, as I said, you can view other information if you are an administrator or have been assigned to multiple branches. So if you want to know the branch that you are in, you click on the info, and then you can see my profile, then the branch, which is branch Akosombo Retail, and then we have other information here, Sales ATM subscription information, and we have Sales ATM terms. And then on this side, you can change branch. If you click on it, you can change branch. So if I click on it, it will take me back here for me to change branch, to change to another branch or another business unit. But let's keep logged into the retail so that we can go through the retail menus. The next we're going to talk about is the POS. Under the retail POS, we have two sub menus. We have the front desk, and what does it do? The front desk is where you have the page that you can sell. So we have sales walk-in, customers that just walk in. Let's click on it, and then you don't register these customers. They just walk in and buy the product. So you don't keep their names, you don't do anything. You just sell, print receipt, and then they are gone. And then next on the same front desk is the sales returns walk-in customers. So if a customer has bought an item and they want to return, one of the advantages is that either you can use the receipt, they have to bring back the receipt. And when you enter the receipt, you will see the product that they have bought. And you have to check with the item that the person has in hand. And remember, in our system, the receipt has the expiry date and the batch number. So you can compare if the product is exactly what the person is returning, so that the person doesn't just go and buy the product from another retail and then buy one from you, and then he can return the one from the other business or other retail shop that he or she bought from. So that is one advantage. And you can also search by advance, where you can select the product name and then select the expiry date, because if he brings the product and the product is in the person's hand, you know the name, you know the expiry date, and then the badge number. If truly this product was sold by you, you will be able to see the product popping up. Later, there will be videos about the retail POS, the advantages, the benefits of using our POS. But this is just a brief of it. So this is how to return. So the next is when the customer has returned, or you made a mistake returning the product, but really it's not a return. You can cancel the returns. So you can cancel the return again. So here you pick the branch, and if you're not an administrator or if you don't have the option, it will pick the branch that you sold from, and then you enter the receipt number, and then it will list if there's a cancel, and then you can revert the canceling of the returns. Now, the next on the POS, we've talked about the front desk, is the back office. This is where you sell to customers that you know. You register the customers and you sell to them. So this is not just the customers which just walk in. So before you can sell, we have this type of sales, either cash sales or credit sales or a gift. And then the client or the customer has to be set up in the system. And we will talk about where to set up the customers. If you are not an administrator, you cannot change these dates. Or if it is just a cash sales, you cannot change it. Let me check on credit sales. If it's a credit sales, then you can change the date. If you're an administrator, you can just change the date. Maybe the person is buying on credit. So it's not automatically, it will give you a month or some grace period in there. But if you select the customer and you have set up the customer with the credit days, it will pick that credit date automatically and adjust the due date. Now let's move on to the next is the CRM. This is where you deal with non-working customers that you have registered them. So first, You can register the customers here. This is where you register customers, and you also manage existing customers. So to register a customer, you click on a new customer, and this page will pop up for you. This form will open up, and you can see that the customer credit limit, you can set a ceiling for it, and the customers allow credit days, the one that I mentioned about, and we have the customer's next purchase date. So if he buys today, the next purchase date will be added. If it is 20 days, it will be added, and then there will be a prompt somewhere in the report later that the customer has to come back to you in 20 days. If 20 days elapse and the customer does not come, you will get a prompt on the dashboard that we haven't added yet, but soon we'll be adding that. You get a prompt. And in future, if it's a pharmacy, a retail pharmacy shop, we will be able to send a message, SMS message to the customer that you are supposed to come, maybe refill your medication, but you have not done that yet. So that is that one. Then we have this customer's order information. We have the address, the diagnosis, and other things. Now let's move on to the next one. We have the receipts. All receipts that you have sold to the non-working customers will be seen here, and then you can do management of this. You can update and delete, cancel, and all that. We don't have any information, as I said, in this system about these invoices. We haven't entered anything. And the next is where you pay the sales that you've made to these customers. If they come and pay, you register the payment here. And we will have a video about payment as well, a separate video into that. And here we have some information that you need to fill, and then you save, and then you can process the payment. The payment will be processed automatically. So that is the customers under CRM. And the next is purchases. Here you record your purchases, and this purchase page is detailed. You can see that you need to enter the branch, the warehouse you are buying into, and then the vendor that you are buying from, the invoice number. You can input the invoice number on the paper that you receive, and the invoice date on the paper, and the due date. And then you need to enter the products line by line on the invoice. Here, there's a lot of information here. The product name, the expiry date, the cost price, the cost price discount, if there's any discount, the batch number, the quantity purchased. Our system is geared towards companies that takes batch numbers and expiry dates seriously, especially the pharmaceutical business, because this is important. Expiry dates and batch numbers are very important because these are medication products that needs to take that you need to take care of expiry things, because you cannot eat expiry things or you cannot take medicine that is expired. So we take care of that. And then if you select the product, you will know the product current price, current cost price of the product, and then the current selling price. You have all this on the purchases page so that you can make adjustment on if you want to change your prices, as you see on the invoice paper. So you can update the selling price either by percentage or either by amount, and then you can pick the default selling price here. And then you can also have break bulk if you are buying it in cartons, but you want your stocks to be filled with maybe packs. You can do the same breaking bulk here in this same page. You can do that, do breaking bulk, and then you add to list. After that, you save, and all this information will be saved nicely to your stock. Very nice purchases details that you do it at one page. If the product is not in your system, you can also add the product from this same page. Maybe the product exists, the product name exists, but a different badge number. There you can go and select the product name, and then you choose a new badge number, and you set up your prices as well there. So this is the purchases. Now This is the vendor invoice payment. Here, this is where you register payment of the vendors that you owe. You enter you choose the category of payment, or you can see the vendor invoices. Sorry, this is where you see vendor invoices, and you can cancel it or manage it, whatever you want to do. You can manage your vendor invoices here. We don't have any information about it. We haven't entered any purchases, but this is where you do the entries. You can update details. There will be sub videos about this. The next is where you register your payment, the vendors that you want to pay them. Here you enter the branch, the purchases was related, so you enter the branch, you can see the purchases that is particular to that branch. Then if it is check, normally you pay immature checks. You want to see my checks that are matured or immature. Then you can list all the checks that you have registered. If it's a new payment, you click on the new payment there. There will be a prompt to pick up your branch. Then it gives you another prompt to pick up the vendor. You select your vendor, and then you can go on. If there's an invoice that is related to ASP, then the payment type, you choose cash, check, mobile money, whatever registration you want to do, and the amount that you want to pay. So it's really flexible, and because you don't pay according to invoices, you register bulk payment, and the system itself will go and pay off all the invoices if you haven't selected an invoice number. Now, the next on this point is accounting. So we have accounting, we have the journal entry. This is where you enter your daily information. If you buy an asset, if you want to register non-operating expenses, this is where you do it. So you click on new here, and you have the expiry date, the transaction description, the amount, debit entry, the branch that you are debiting. We have the transaction account, and so on and so forth. There's one thing I want to highlight that it's really interesting about depreciation. Maybe you want to enter your depreciation accounts. You select the branch here, then you can select. We have, maybe you are paying this depreciation expense, so you can click on operating expenses. If you select that, then it should only have depreciation expense. Then you can go here and credit your depreciation and amortization. You select, if you have set up your depreciation account, you can pick there and pay your depreciation. Sorry. So that is that for the journal entry under the accounting heading. Then we have expenses payment. This is where you register all expenses. If it's a new expense, you click on the green button at the top there, then this page will come, you enter all expenses, and you can save it. Then we go on to the charts of account. This is also very important. The different branches, if you are assigned to multiple branches, and on this page you can select different branches. If you are not, you cannot do that. But yes, the branch that you are logged in can show. Here we have the asset. We have bank, cash, company petty cash, depreciation and amortization, expected payment from customers, inventory, mobile money, money in transit, other long-term assets, other short-term assets, and then property, plant, and equipment. Here you can enter all your fixed assets. So what you do is you enter the account name, then the account description. You enter that. You can enter other things, and you can also register or create your depreciation and amortization account. Then you need to create the assets before you can create this depreciation, because you have to tie the assets to the depreciation account there. So this is the asset category. If you click on liability here, you will see all liabilities, and you can set up your liabilities as well. Same applies to income. And we have expense. They are pre-created expenses for you, but you can add other ones. You can add your own operating expenses and other expenses also. Then we have equity. This is where you can register your capital and all other things there. Now we move on to the stocks. Stock is a bit more. So we will leave the stock and we will not talk much about it. We will just go on, just to go up, just brush through, run through. We were not going to click on details because we're going to do a video on stocks, stock management alone. So we have damaged stocks. This is where you register stocks that are damaged. You select the branch. If you change the branch, you can see the warehouses that are registered under this branch. And then from there, you can enter them, enter the products that are destroyed, and you can save it. Then we have stock adjustments. This is where you adjust all your stocks. You select the branch, the warehouse that you want to adjust. Then you have the quantities. You click on update. You change the quantity, and you save it. Then you just go on. Then the next is stock transfer. This is where you transfer stocks in between warehouses. So we have transfer type from and transfer from. We have a video on this, a tutorial on this, so you can refer to that one. Then we have another stock in transit transfer. So this is where you receive the goods and you go in and check if all the goods has been received. You check, you save, and then it will update the stocks for you. Then we have stock update. This is where if you have stocks that have expired in the system but has not really expired, maybe because they made a mistake, you choose expired product and you choose the branch and you view. You will see this expired products and you can make changes. You can click on more and update. So you can update the expiry date to reflect the right one. You can change the badge number and you can change the quantity as well. So this is where you make the adjustments to this information here. That is stock update. Then we go to reports. Here you have a lot of reports. Sales report, we have accounting reports, and we have staff, and we have stock report, stock to order, out of stock, expired stock, expiring stock, stock transfer, product and prices. And we have vendors. You have your vendor list, and then you have your unpaid balances for your vendors. So you this is account payable. You can see them and the amount that you owe each vendor. And then we have customers. Here is the customer information for the retail branch. Then we go to setup. This is where a lot of things happen there. Branch setup and update is the same for the retail, wholesale, and then the distribution business. And we have warehouse setup and update, the same for all the three business operations that we support. And we have assigning warehouse for branch sales. We will talk about it in another video, as I mentioned. And we have shelf setup. I will recommend that you arrange your retail shop into shelves. It is very good to do that. And then we have app settings. App settings is where you load your logo. You load your logo, and then it will show up on your invoices and your receipts. Then we have staff. This is where staff category. We have staff category. You can add more. We have staff office assistant. This is where you can add more to it. And then we have another vendors. Okay, still under the staff, we have staff access group setup. We have a video about that. You create a group where you can assign the group to a staff when you are setting up a staff. Then we have staff setup. This is where we set up staffs. So you can add new staff, and then you can go through all this here and set them up. And then if you are an administrator, there are more things you can see. We have login history. Individually, when you log into it, you can see your login history, but administrator can also see the login history. and you can view it on map. There's a map that you can view where the person has logged in from. And then there are a lot of things you can do here: disable the staff and login update, and a whole lot of things there. Now we have the vendor or supplier, where you can set up a vendor and update a vendor as well. So the vendors can be set up here, and they can be updated. And then we have, still under invoice brought forward, maybe when you are starting up, you want to bring all your purchases that you have not paid for into the system so that you can pay them off. And then we have the accounting, the opening balances, where all the accounts that you have set up in the chart of account, you need to come and enter the opening balances so that they can be registered in the system. Then we have stocks. Here we have a lot of them. We have stock setup, bulk upload. I will talk a little bit about it, as I said, in the next video, only about stocks. So here we can just go on. This is where you load your stocks with Excel sheet. You choose the sheet that you want to upload. You just go in and upload it, and you open, and then it will load up for you. Then you pick your warehouse, and you pick your selling price category. Then you save it. For you to get this Excel sheet, you have to download it from here so that you can fill it manually and upload it. Don't change the headings, because if you change it, you will not be able to upload in the system. Then we have still under the stock, we have unit of measures that you can set up: selling price scheme and selling price scheme update. This is important. As I said, we will do a video about it. And break bulk settings. You have to set up breaking bulk so that you don't enter them every day that you are breaking bulk. Then we have info. As I said, you have my profile, then the branch that you are in, then you can change branch, as we mentioned. So this is for the retail. Now let's quickly change to a distribution branch and talk about the other additional features that we were not able to talk about. If you click on the POS, if you log into the distribution as we've done, and you click on the POS, it has also front desk, but the POS is quite different from the retail POS. Here it is a wholesale. You have this front desk where a customer comes in and buy. Here you need to register the customer first, and the CRM, or under the CRM, where we will also talk about the customer registration, is a bit different from the retail business, but it's the same for the wholesale and the distribution. The front desk, as I've mentioned, the client is registered. You select the client, and then you cannot change the date because they have to buy and pay. This is cash sales. Then you go through the system. Also, we have the back office. This is where you can sell also to customers, but different types of sales. We have cash sales, credit sales, and gift. So it's similar to the retail. The interface is almost the same. Few changes there. And then there's the CRM. The customer is different. How to set up the customers is different. You can see that there is a new customer setup and a customer merger. If you have created duplicate customers, you can merge them to one customer. Here we have some information that we've entered. So you can enter new customer. You click on new customer. Here it is a lot. The region of the customer. We have the customer's business phone number, the customer's business email, the customer's contact person's phone number, the customer SMS notification number. This number is important because when the sales staff go out and register their payment, and you have signed up for automatic SMS will be sent to the customer, telling the customer the amount that the sales rep have registered. So if the sales rep registers less than what he took from the customer will be prompted that, oh, yo, I paid you 400 Ghana. Why are you registering 300 Ghana? This is one of the benefits that we will talk about later on, because it sends this SMS to the customer, notifying the customer how much money is taken if it is cash. But checks, no, because the staff cannot manipulate the check. Now we have other information that you can fill up here. We have also invoices. We have invoice management. In the retail, it is receipts. Here it's invoice. So invoice management, this is where you manage your invoices, the invoices that you have generated. So we have some data, and if you go to the more, you can view the invoice. This is how the invoice will look like. You have your logo there, and you can print. If you want to print, you go and print to a printer, and you send the invoice to the customer. Now, if you go to more, you can also update the invoice. You can update the invoice, change, and even add more to the invoice. And the same invoice management, the same more, you can register bad debts, and you can also register withholding tax to that, and you can cancel the invoice as well. You can cancel the invoice. You can cancel the invoice and register your bad debt. If you want to register bad debt, you go there and enter the bad debt. If you want to register withholding the taxes, you click on withholding taxes and you register that. So this is how you manage invoices, and you also can register payment. Payment can be registered by the field staff, or you can register payment at the back office. So this is where you register the payment and you save the payment. And then you can also do other things like go to invoices, and you have also, because it's a distribution business, you manage the payment that the field staff have entered. You need to check it and approve it. So we have it here. This is where you go. You select type of payment. If it is cash, you select the branch and you select the staff, and you can see the staff payment. And then so every day they come from their business trip, all the money they have collected, somebody has to cross check. If there's any mistake, you click on update there. You click on update, then the information will pop up for you to update it. If you feel the information is correct, you just click on check and check these are correct, and you approve it, and then it will be used to, if it is cash, pay off the customer, because the information is stored here. You have registered this information. So that is the difference between the retail and the wholesale and distribution business. The distribution business will have this, but the wholesale business will not have this, because there's no field staff for the distribution for the wholesale business. So the wholesale business will not have this field staff, invoice payment management for field staff, but it will have invoice payments management. So this is the payment that is made, and you want to make some changes and updates and things of that sort. Maybe you want to cancel the payment. Maybe we don't have any payments yet registered. So that is where to find payment management. Then we have orders. This is where the field staff goes and collect orders or register orders for customers. And you come to orders. And when you are at the orders page, this is where you process these orders. You process the orders and then issue invoice, and then the items is collected from the stock and sent to the customer. And we have also on the orders, we have quotations. We also have under stock, there are things that additions. We have sales van stock loading and sales van stock offloading. Let's talk about the sales van stock loading a little bit. because the distribution, this is key. Every day that the van moves out, their stocks has to be loaded. You need to load the vans. So what you do, you select the warehouse, the branch, and the warehouse that you are going to load from. Then you select the rep. You can load from requisition. Requisition is where the customer or the sales staff has requested for stocks. So you go there, and then the requisition will be loaded. And then you can see what you want to load. You can change as well, and you can delete from it, and then you can save it. If you're not going to load from requisition, but you're just going to select one by one, you go to the sales staff, and then you add the products, you add the quantity, 10. If you add all that, you save, and the van will be loaded. You can print it and go out and load exactly what you have digitally loaded. Make sure you load the same thing, because when you print, it will give you details of what you're supposed to load. So you click on save and you load it, and then the van will be loaded. Now let's go to reports as well. I mean, let's check. Yes, so these are what is added. The offloading to, you go there, you select the staff. If he has stocks, it will be loaded, and then you check which ones you're going to load and change the quantities. Reports, almost the same. We have clients here and account receivable. This is the money you are expecting from the customers. So this is also an addition, and you have your clients or your customers, whatever, the list of them under the report there. And we have the vendors as well, the same as the retail, but this is the same for the wholesale as well. But with the stock report, we have additions. We have the stock movement sales van. So as the sales people are selling, you will see their stocks here. You will see how the stock movement is moving. So if you choose the stuff and you search, you can see the movement of that particular sales staff van. We will do videos separately about that. And we also have reports on stocks. We have sales stock levels for sales vans. So you can see each staff sales van. So here we have sales rep 1. If you have other reps, it will be grouped under their name as we see here. So each rep will see his stocks level. Now we have other reports. Let's see if we have stock shortages. We didn't talk about that, but this gives you shortages of stocks, and you can see if there are any shortages. And we have stock level history. As I said, I'm going to do a video on the stock alone to give you insight about it. So at each date, you can see the stock level, your stock level at each date. And then we have the setup staff. As you see, you have two additions here: staff sales target and staff sales target update, where you can update. And then we have under general, there's also another thing that we can see. We have customer category setup and update. So as you can see, we have under general, we have app settings, the same as the retailing, and customer category setup and update. And we also have under accounting, the same opening balances, stocks, We have this box of settings. And then we have one addition, sales, where you set up sales territory setup. By default, there's one called default, but you can set up territories for your customers. We call it routes. So the route name, you select the target, route target. Each route can have a target too. Interesting point that you should know. Then you can select the region and then the towns and city under that region. So if you choose Ahafo, you can have towns that has been set up. Then we have the customers that you want to group under this route, and then you save. And then you can assign it to a rep. So that is how you do it. So basically, this is all about sales ATM navigation, how to navigate through both the retail, wholesale, and distribution. Thanks for watching.